Hello and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health, your invaluable source of information about NAFDAC's relentless efforts at safeguarding the health of the nation. My name is Tosin Omolaja. On this edition of the program, we track the growth and development the agency has experienced so far, especially in the quest to achieve drug security in Nigeria. This singular vision is central to the Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeye's agenda. This has driven the efforts of NAFDAC in its regulation of the Nigerian pharmaceutical industry under the leadership of Professor Adeyeye.
When you talk of drug security, you have to immediately think of local capacity. At the peak of HIV/AIDS, over 30-something million Africans died because there were no drugs for HIV/AIDS. That is what is called drug insecurity in the continent. And that is what I've been advocating since I took office, that our local capacity should be significantly improved. Right now, we have about 30% local production, 70% import. I would like us to turn it around to 70-30, meaning 70% local and 30% as imports, because we will always import, no matter what. We will always import. It is just the ratio. How much can we import that will make us secure if there is a problem? Not running helter-skelter looking for others to help us. So it is extremely important to assist, to come alongside our local manufacturing. But again, we have to strengthen, as we are being strengthened, we have to strengthen our local manufacturers. And that's what we are doing right now. We went round from end of last year to this year to do industry-wide good manufacturing practice inspection.
National regulatory authorities, as you are aware, play very critical roles in assuring the qualities, efficacy, and safety of drugs that are in circulation in retail, both before those drugs are made and after they go into the retail space. And that is why NAFDAC conducts GMP inspections and post-marketing surveillance in the at factories and in the marketplaces to ensure that these drugs meet standards of identity.
The implementation of good manufacturing practices has seen the agency beaming its focus on the activities of the local pharmaceutical manufacturers to ensure that only pharmaceutical products of acceptable standards are made available to the Nigerian populace. This is what led to the charting of the GMP roadmap.
In the last 3 years, we have been able to carry out a GMP roadmap in Nigeria, basically to carry out inspections at pharmaceutical manufacturing plants to ensure their level of compliance with GMP. That exercise led to a lot of positive, outcomes. It was a huge intervention because we're able to build both material capacity and human capacity. And a lot of firsts came out of that exercise.
That process led us to categorizing the industry, the companies into 3. Those that have low risk, those that have medium risk, those that have high risk. And it's not punitive at all. It is that we're encouraging everybody to use good manufacturing practices so that our population can get quality products, quality drug products. I just got a feedback from the director of drug evaluation and research that those who are at high risk They are doing everything, or some of those that are high risk, they are doing everything to improve their process. That's what we want, so that they move to medium, and medium move to low. What will that do to our industry? Foreign investors will now say, oh, that company is low risk, that company is medium risk. I may be able to partner with them, and would increase the capacity of local manufacturing.
We were able to carry out a baseline data, or rather we were able to create a baseline data of all pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria, and we're able to come up with 165 active pharmaceutical companies. We were also able to establish that 40 pharmaceutical companies that were in existence before are now moribund. We carried out inspections at those sites to be able to have an eyewitness account to be sure that yes, they've gone out of business.
Apart from helping to develop and encourage the local pharmaceutical industry, the GMP roadmap has also had exponential positive effects on the agency's operations, as well as helping to expand the agency's capacity.
This definitely is going to help government to formulate policy that will reduce reliance on a lot of imported products and help, chart a way for the local, to drive production. If we can accomplish this, listen, it's going to definitely attract a lot of investors into the country. It's going to also grow the economy, and it is going to increase the employment base for Nigeria. GMP roadmap, we're able to centralize inspections so that we use our critical mass or pool of experienced inspectors to carry out GMP inspections, so that we use a standardized, or rather so that we'll be able to apply common standards to the inspections we carry out. We've also been able to develop guidance document for issuance of API permit. Before now, there was no form of control for the active pharmaceutical ingredient, but now we issue permits before APIs can be imported into Nigeria. You may wish to note that the active pharmaceutical ingredients are the primary constituents, that is the primary raw materials, for any drug product, and therefore anything that affects the API will eventually affect the performance of the final product. And we've just done so much. We developed, among the many documents we have developed, is a document that will help new commerce into the pharma industry. That is the people who want to set up new factories. We've formulated a document that will be a perfect guide, so that from the onset they are able to meet the requirements.
In addition to helping to improve the agency's operations, the enforcement of GMP has also helped the agency for a repositioning that enhanced global recognition.
And we were also able, through this or within this period, the GMP outcome prepared us for the WHO World Bench, WHO benchmarking, which is right now a game changer, in how national regulatory authorities assure quality of medicines and efficacy of medicines. And it is also going to attract a lot of trade, for for the pharma sector.
NAFDAC, as a way to further encourage the development of local pharmaceutical industries and reduce excessive reliance of importation, introduced the 5+5 method.
We have what is called 5+5 year validity, meaning that we give you approval upon registration for 5 years. After 5 years, you can renew your product. We have changed that completely, meaning you cannot renew forever and keep importing. If you have been bringing it in for a long time, and now we see that there are so many companies that are doing the same thing locally, we advise you, start telling us how you want to start producing locally. Migration to local production, local manufacturing. So the 5+5 year validity is also going to help. Another aspect of it that is going to help that we have put in place is 5-year exclusivity advantage. I will call it advantage. In which case, if you are a manufacturer and you did something innovative, we will allow you market exclusivity for 5 years. You will be the only one that will be selling that product for 5 years, because that will give you time to recoup all the money that you have invested. To me, that is going to help our manufacturers to become more innovative. It's competition, because nobody wants to stay out of being the monopoly for 5 years. Everybody would like to do that. So that is also part of local manufacturing that we're encouraging.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away.
Yes, come in.
Uncle.
Tayo.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. It's good to see you. Where's Junior and his mom?
Uncle T, we are here.
Mama.
Junior, quick. Go get your uncle some alcohol from Auntie Carol's shop.
No, Junior. Please go sit. Don't you know that sending Junior to go buy this kind of drinks could instill in him the urge to drink alcohol at this tender age? Children under the age of 18 should abstain from alcohol. No, Uncle, please. Give me the money. I'll go buy it by myself.
I didn't know that.
But I told you.
NAFDAC says alcohol is a no-go area for children under the age of 18.
I will never send him on such an errand again.
It is the business of all of us, parents, guardians, marketers and retailers, to stop underage drinking of alcohol in our society. Join us today.
This message is brought to you by Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, NAFDAC, and the Federal Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. If you're just joining in, you're watching NAFDAC and Your Health. In spite of these, the NAFDAC Director General has not undermined the necessity of interaction with the stakeholders in the local pharmaceutical industry. Machineries are also put in place in this direction.
The DG inaugurated, a committee of experts made up of the academia, the herbal practitioners and herbal manufacturers, just to create a platform where they can all interact to be able to translate research into products of commerce. And we've also been able to have a lot of stakeholder engagement in the area of herbal medicines, just to be able to encourage the academia amongst them.
NAFDAC, as a regulatory agency, does not end its regulatory functions at approval of foods and drugs for public use and consumption. The agency monitors how the regulated products are kept and moved until they get to end users. This function is what the agency terms traceability.
When we talk about traceability, we're really looking to see how we can monitor the progress or the movement of a product through the supply chain. So you can actually go backwards and look at the source all the way up to the patient who is the consumer. And so it gives you visibility from manufacturing through the distribution all the way up to when it is dispensed and administered to the patient, so you can see where the product is. It also allows you to secure the supply chain. Once you're able to use certain pieces of information, you know the source of the product, you know where it is at any point in time, and you're able to have assurance of the quality of the product, that your supply chain is protected, and it prevents the infiltration of substandard or falsified regulated products.
When you are able to track all the products that are legitimately in the supply chain, you also have the ability to be able to detect those that are in the supply chain that are spurious and falsified, those products that are illegitimately in the supply chain. You also have the privilege to be able to ensure that there is improved logistics in terms of the medicines, and you're able to have visibility of the product, such that when you have cases where you have to recall the product, you are able to do that effectively and efficiently, thus also improving the mandate to safeguard the health of the nation.
You could also use it as a mechanism for inventory control, for example, where you'll be able to know what volumes of products you're carrying, where they are, allow you to make good projections and have better management of your supply chain. The GS1 are a global concern. They are a non-profit organization who help to provide global standards and guidance for traceability. We've engaged with them over the years, and what we have seen is that there are many standards out there, but it is the most globally accepted, which is applicable in several countries all over the world, and they have good experience in the healthcare sector as well as in other areas of practice. So we're going with the globally accepted standard, which allows us to implement traceability in Nigeria seamlessly.
Principal to traceability is the ability for data that is related to that product to move also alongside the product within the supply chain.
Traceability is not peculiar to Nigeria. It's a global phenomenon, and NAFDAC does not implement it in isolation.
Nigeria has adopted the global standards for traceability, and so we are using the global standards to be able to identify products, to also to be able to capture information about the products, at the same time to be able to share the data around that, around the products as it moves along the supply chains.
Traceability impacts on the quality of products. It also has a good role to play when you're talking about distribution of quality products. So once your aim is to ensure that you have quality assured regulated products, traceability has a big role in that area.
Another advantage of traceability is its importance to the NAFDAC DG's drug security drive.
The drug security drive also keys into the traceability, because part of the objectives of traceability is to ensure that local pharmaceutical manufacturers embrace traceability, which they already have. There are quite a few local manufacturers that are already using some form of verification. They're using it at different levels as they produce these products locally and apply the global standards to them. So that is already going on, and we're just working to build on that and increase understanding and visibility in that area.
Recognizing the significance of traceability, NAFDAC has a structure in place to enhance its implementation.
Traceability is huge. It's something that involves different stakeholders, and it's part of the reason why in moving to develop the traceability strategy for Nigeria, we had a multi-stakeholder engagement.
We're implementing traceability now for pharmaceuticals, that they will be able to ensure that all their products have GTINs, and they are able to capture 2D matrix barcodes on all their products to include both the batch number, the expiry date, and the serial number for the product. So this information will be required, and NAFDAC will be publishing this on the website. So the requirements for the manufacturers to comply to will be on the website of NAFDAC. You can find that at www.nafdac.gov.ng/traceability. You'll find the requirements for which the products or the manufacturers must comply to ensure that their product is compliant to traceability.
The drug security drive also keys into the traceability, because part of the objectives of traceability is to ensure that local pharmaceutical manufacturers embrace traceability, which they already have. There are quite a few local manufacturers that are already using some form of verification. They're using it at different levels as they produce these products locally and apply the global standards to them. So that is already going on, and we're just working to build on that and increase understanding and visibility in that area.
For most of the products that are coming outside the country already carry these barcodes. So what we would be doing forward in implementing is to ensure that these producers who are bringing these products ensure that they provide us the data that is related to the barcode that is captured on that product before the arrival, so that we can make that available also to the supply chain, all the stakeholders, so that as at the time the product gets into the supply chain, whether it's at the point of distribution, you're able to scan and say truly this product is legitimately in Nigeria. And if you scan and you cannot find information about that, you already now can suspect that that product is an illegitimate product or a substandard and falsified product. So that's how traceability will, in the process of time, be implemented.
Nigeria has had the challenge of underreporting of adverse drug reaction, despite the various platforms the agency had put in place, including the paper-based reporting form, also known as the Yellow Form, and its electronic version that's domiciled on the NAFDAC website.
Underreporting is what we have experienced in NAFDAC, but what our emphasis right now is to do active pharmacovigilance, to really step it up. NAFDAC is adopting the use of the MedSafety app because NAFDAC has been part and parcel of the International Drug Monitoring body that WHO set up.
The MedSafety app is used to report all adverse drug reactions that can be encountered with the use of any medication. Then secondly, it can also be used to track all safety information about medicinal products. It can also be used to build a watch list of medications you are interested in. For example, if I'm a diabetic patient or if I'm a hypertensive patient and I'm taking some anti-hypertensive or anti-diabetic medication, I can use the MedSafety app to create a watch list of this medication so that I can periodically get safety information about that drug.
This is where we draw the curtains today on the program. Join us again next week for another enlightening edition. In the meantime, if you have questions, comments, or inquiries, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700-162-3322. For complaints, call 0800-162-3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email, reforms@nafdac.gov.ng, or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded. Remember, safeguarding the health of the nation is our collective responsibility. So if you have information about fake and unwholesome food and drugs or activities that create them, kindly reach out to NAFDAC. Till next week, stay safe.